Good evening, I hope everyone's well today. Thank you for watching, it is appreciated. I am a little bit late on this story, but I wanted to give my view on it anyway, and this is regarding Islamists in London successfully petitioning to get a UKIP march that was going to be down in Tower Hamlet on the 25th of October moved. So we have political Islam taking root in this United Kingdom. My bet, a very safe bet, is that the same thing that happened in Birmingham over the Israeli team, Maccabi Tel Aviv, being threatened essentially with violence if they turn up by Islamist thugs in Britain's second city. My view is this is what's happened here, is that the local demographic, no longer white British, predominantly Bangladeshi and Pakistani origin, they have kicked up a stink. They are digging their heels in and saying, we can't have things that we don't agree with in our neighbourhood. So they're intolerant. This is the thing, this is what we're asked to tolerate as people that do not tolerate us, our cultural or societal norms. And we're meant to be the bad guys if we've got a problem with it. Now, we've had a lot of protests for the pro-plasticine marches down the capital and all over the country. They've even gone in provocative areas like Jewish neighbourhoods and whatnot, and they are causing fear, distress and alarm to a great number of the population, myself included, because it's regarding a foreign conflict both countries I've got no real interest in. If you ask me, I'll give an opinion, but it's not my fight, essentially. They're not cancelled, but this is cancelled. Why? Because the particular demographic in these areas have got the police by the short and curlies, and they think that if they threaten violence, they'll get their way. Mob rule, essentially. This is the UKIP leader, Nick Tenconi. I'll give you his video first of all.
Following two-tier policing, we will be moving our march on Saturday to outside the London Oratory on Brompton Road and marching through central London to Speaker's Corner. I am disgusted to see that the Metropolitan Police have cancelled our march in Whitechapel due to threats of violence from the local Islamist community. This is in direct breach of our democratic right to peaceful assembly, and it comes just a week after the disastrous decision from West Midlands Police to ban Maccabi Tel Aviv fans from attending an Aston Villa game due to concerns fans would be attacked by Islamist thugs. We are watching British police officers cave in to sectarian violence across the country, which is unacceptable. The Met must decide who is in charge of police strategy, police commanders or Islamist community leaders. Note how the Met Police did not cancel an Islamist pro-Palestine march on October the 2nd, the day 2 people were killed in a terror attack at the Manchester synagogue. And unlike our protests, the Islamists turned violent and attacked the police. Isn't it interesting? The Met Police regularly say they have no powers to stop all sorts of abhorrent extremist protests. Yet when it comes to us, they are able to trample on our rights. This is two-tier policing at its worst, and the Met have at best signified they have lost control of the streets of London, or at worst, are complicit with the Islamists in stifling our democracy. We will not be bullied, and we will now be meeting outside the London Oratory at 1 p.m. on Saturday, the 25th of October. Patriots, we will not be deterred from taking our country back.
So there you have my side of the argument, the patriot side of the argument, that I feel that Britain should be for the British. Then we've got the colonisers, the MP like Afsana Begum, I think her name is. This is her opinion, and they love playing the victim. That's the only card that they have, and they love playing the victim.
I'll be the victim all your life.
From ending indefinite leave detention to creating safe routes, we need policies that reflect our values of dignity and compassion. That's why I will continue to push back against toxic narratives and stand up for solidarity, truth and the rights for all who live here. Because this is in line with the traditions of solidarity in the East End of London, where we see diversity as a strength.
I'm just going to pause that there. The rights of all, or just the rights of people that agree with you? Why is the UKIP march banned from your patch in London? Why is that? It's not because you want rights for all, it's because you don't want rights for people you don't agree with. This is identity politics. No place in Britain, no place in our society. Now, I believe this MP, obviously she's South Asian, I'm not too sure if it's Bangladesh or Pakistan, I don't much care. Why is she in Britain? And I'm not saying get the foreigners out, I'm saying why is she specifically in Britain? Why is it she feels that she'll have a better life here compared to Pakistan or Bangladesh, for example? What is it that we have in terms of rights and privileges that Bangladesh and Pakistan don't have? I mean, they're both former possessions of the empire. They were both partitioned off from the subcontinent into their own countries before we left. So what is it specific that you didn't have there that you have here in terms of rights? I'll be interested to find out.
And where all of our communities include migrants from all around the world, where the Jewish communities and allies opposed fascists at the Battle of Cable Street in 1936, where the murder of Altab Ali brought people out on the streets, and where the Bangladeshi communities led the anti-fascist mobilization in the 1970s, and where the communities on the Isle of Dogs defeated division, intolerance and hate spread by the BNP in the 1990s. We know that hardship can be overcome, and it can be overcome collectively. That's why, as we look back on our rich history of welcoming refugees and migrants, we look to our present, fully aware that the far right are planning to target our area once again this week on Saturday the 25th of October, amidst a rise in racist, Islamophobic and...
I'm going to stop you there, sweetheart. That's right, sweetheart. Islamophobia is not real. It is fake. It is made up. Phobia implies that the fear is irrational. It's not irrational. It's perfectly reasonable and it's perfectly legitimate. You are the worst kind of parliamentarian, alright? You're very disingenuous.
Anti-Semitic attacks, where just a couple of years ago, more than 700 people were evacuated from the East London Mosque and the London Muslim Centre and nearby schools as well, following a bomb threat.
So you're conflating things yet again. A bomb threat, okay, a threat of violence, caused an evacuation of a mosque. Alright? If you're Islam, or if you're Muslim, I don't know her particular religion, but I don't much care. What I would say is, Islam causes violence like we've seen in Manchester a few weeks ago. Not the threat of violence, the very real reality of violence, which is why the threats from the Islamist community in the United Kingdom, in significant places like Manchester, Birmingham, Glasgow and whatnot, it's not so much a threat as it's a promise they're going to act on it, and this is what gravely concerns me. The protest that was going in Tower Hamlets was only going to go one way, which is the Islamists were going to cause violence. We know from recent protests that the United Kingdom rally, arrests are very, very low, and the majority of those arrests were from counter-protesters because they ended up being kettled in. When you look at the Notting Hill parade, or carnival, or you look at the pro-plasticine marches, the arrests are tenfold, 20-fold what they would be on the Patriot rallies. So there is violence, it's just not from our side.
We will stand together in defiance on Saturday, and we will say no pasaran.
Yeah, speak English, I don't understand what you mean. I'm in England, I'm in the United Kingdom. You speak English, you speak Welsh, you speak Gaelic, or you get out. Alright? That's just my view. That's enough from that bint anyway. Now, if you want to go to this march down in London, it is going to be, new start point is London's Oratory on Brompton Road in Knightsbridge. Very upmarket, Nick, I must admit. Meet at 1 PM on Saturday the 25th of October. We are taking it all back, that's what he says. On a side note, when the war in Ukraine broke out a few years ago, there was a lot of puff pieces about Nick Tenconi because he was on the Ukrainian side and against the Russians. There was a lot of propaganda put out saying, look at this politician, isn't he great, isn't he wonderful? That's all died away now. always be aware of what the narrative is feeding you. Everyone thought that he, couldn't do any wrong when he was doing what they wanted him to do. As soon as you don't do what they want you to do, that's when you fall out of favour. Just always remember that point. Now, if you like this video, and you think I'm onto something, you make me aware. Consider liking, subscribing, comment below if you think I'm overplaying this or over-egging it. My concern is that the issue in Birmingham with the Aston Villa game, that's emboldened the Islamists in the United Kingdom. And we're going to see this a lot more all over the country, especially where they are a majority. Alright? This is what we need to push back against. Not on my watch, not on my country. I'm not having it. Thank you for your time.